Okay, so it's cadmium orange hue, and the warm white will bulk it up, so you'll get up from there, okay? So you'll put the warm white nearby. Yeah, it's this W. You put the warm white nearby, and you start with a couple of peppercorns. You're gonna need quite a bit, so you can certainly put a little bit and start with it. So let's start with a little bit, okay? Mix that up, use the tip of the knife. Stay way away from the surface of the painting by using the tip. And try not to hold the knife too far down or you'll get paint all over your hand. Once you've mixed, pull it in from all corners of the earth, flip it, keep mixing. Once it's all one color, slide it. And you can see that we've gone a little lighter, okay? But we want to go right up to there. Okay. So it's very, you know, okay, first of all, you don't point them. I'm not touching that knife so you have to paint on that. As soon as you have paint on the hand, get it off, use the toilet paper, okay? Use the paint to get it off your hand. Now, I think you need to wash this out. If you haven't already done it, you have. Anyway, don't worry about it if you paint it. I don't want you to hear it. It's possible you might need to put black. You're going to put black in the dark spot, so you're not going to get the black. Great, that's it. Now, you know, you painted some parts, it looks transparent here compared to some other parts. Get a little bit more paint on your brush. And lighten up your touch a bit. Sometimes you can get a little bit more paint. Okay, that's done. Okay. So you can pack that away there, I guess. Do we have anything extra? Let's leave this out for a second. I want to see your extra skin there. That's probably what we're using. You're just refreshing. Yeah, so keep that in mind that every now and again check your package, pick out good stuff, and refresh. It will last a lot longer for you. No, it's linseed oil, so it's the same thing that's already in the paint. So you're just adding a little bit more of what's starting to sear a little bit. Yeah, I guess it is. Oil paint is made out of two things: powdered pigment, which is made from paint, or it's organic, or you know, and now synthetic colors. And then linseed oil, which is just flax seeds pressed. That's all it is. And you know linen? You know that they painted on linen, right, in the past? And a lot of people do now. The linen is from the stalk, right, of the linen plant. So the linen they're painting on is made from the same thing they're painting with, flax. So essentially flax, you know, the thing becomes linen. I think that's amazing that they're painting with the same thing they're painting on, with linseed oil. Now don't use flax anymore. It's not food grade. It's made different. Okay, I think we need a little bit more of the viridian and more of the yellow. You're too dark. You just ignore that. Ignore that. Ignore the little anomaly on the corner. Don't get distracted by anomalies. Boy, humans are amazing at that, though, right? You're a bit dark. So put about 4 peppercorns. You can take that off now. Yeah, we'll go on to the color. So you've got an extra dark. This is it. Okay. Okay, so we're going to make some nose colors now. Oh, geez, we make that. A little bit of packaging lighting. Just go slow, though, because it's going to become greener and greener as you add it. You want to soften the green in this green. Once you slide it in the right side. It's really hard to jam it in that corner. There's no room, so you slide it in the right side. Oh, okay, it's the dark one. Yeah. Dark gray. Not the black side, but the dark gray side. Okay, get a couple of pieces of tape, about half an inch long or whatever, from the tape. Okay, now when you're mixing, don't keep pushing it out. Look, you can come off the palette. The point of the palette paper is to stay on it. Think of it as a picnic blanket, and there's all kinds of ants all around it, okay? Get that in on the blanket. Get it off the grass. Always, when you're mixing, you squish and always have a tendency to come back in. So you can make 4 colors on one palette. Because you'll waste a lot of money on palettes yourself at home if you use one for every color you make. Okay, so let's see where we are. We're definitely lighter than that. And we're darker than that. And how are we with this? Check your app. Look at this and which is darker? Check it again. Well, darker than that. It is darker than that, but I want to know if it's darker than this. So you're holding it up over the square. Look at it. Look at it. Okay. So you actually already added way too much more white. Remember, there's 50 million things in here. You're way up here. You need to come down. So you have to add orange. Put the warm white back. You won't need that for a while. You've got enough warm white in there. You can survive on it for months. Okay. Did you rip off a couple of pieces of tape? Because you need it for the thing you're painting. By the way, we don't just paint something and then go, okay, I've done that, I'm not going to touch it again. Each thing we paint, we go back into numerous times to edit it, to make it better, to make it perfect. Because we're not perfect, but we get perfect by practice. Just like a performer. I think we'll go with that, okay? Now, okay, so you got that yellow out? Put a window, see if we can put it on the edge. Actually, let's just do it. I think it's perfect. You're going to run that all the way along there. And that will do. Yeah, right to the dash line. The light part, right? Oh, right. Now that will be thrown away. You can't use it. Okay, so we're going a little darker. We're going to put a little bit of burnt umber. Grab burnt umber and put 3 peppercorns in, and then check the value. If it's not dark enough, put 3 more. Put a window on it, Matt. So you're just doing it without now being probiotic. You need to put a window on. If you really know what's there, you can't just do what you're doing right now. You don't use the dark one, right? You actually have to use the white side of it. Okay? You don't check things without isolating the color and use the impressionist. They were a fool by all the colors too, because they didn't care. They didn't care. They loved color, you know. Bourgeoisie wanted their color things and their dark, dingy Victorian apartments. And really, it was like a TV for them because they didn't have a TV. When they sat in that room, that painting on that wall, that was color, the only color image that exists was something else. Like you'd sit there and look at it. It was just like an entertainment watching. Probably about that. You can probably show up. Okay? And now you're going to put a piece of tape on the spot. Where was it? Gray. Okay. Now there's a light one to the right there. Maybe we should make that, which is kind of like this tape here. Put the window on. See this green right here, which is kind of gray. Yeah. Now that's a light. Start looking at value. Did you get a window back on? Which color is it? That one. Where you are. What were you doing? Well, that's white with that thing, right? Oh, you're too gray. That's going to be more color. Too gray, right? You got too gray and dingy. So whatever the original color was, remember it was blue violet. You use blue violet it takes the color out of it. You're supposed to lighten it, not add gray. Okay. Gray takes the color out of it. White lightens it, takes the color out of the color. So you needed white. So because you've added so much gray, you've got to remake the original color. Put an equal amount of blue beside that together, and then you're going to add a third of that back. So what you've done is desaturation. Push the 2 parts of gray. So that's exactly what I was just talking about in here with the tennis match. Holy cow, no. No, you were adding the white to the green. So add all the green in there, all of it. All of it. You're way too light, right? No, it's the other one. It's ultramarine blue. Ultramarine blue and cobalt. I think we need a little bit more yellow now. Yeah, keep more pepper more into that yellow. It's not still too white. Yeah, we can go with that. Okay. So shocking that is that value in between. See, it's still lighter than that. It's still darker than that, but there's a million variations there. Now we're perfect. You were up here, just below the main light, and we didn't want to go that high up. Yellow looks good. Yeah, you were. Okay, now I see where else we put the yellow. Okay. Now we need the color to the right of the skull at the top. I think it might be I think it's this color. Take that color and paint that in there, except for the really dark spots. You're painting it everywhere around where that light is. You put it in the dark. Yes, now we add gray. Now this is 1.5 gray, and if you were on the top row, that's what you would add. If you were on this row, you would add that one. You're not, you're in between. So I want you to grab number 3 gray, and you're gonna lighten until it's in between these, or as dark as that. That's to keep the same. Okay, so what, is this the leftover? Why is it, okay, we don't want it right beside the brown like that. I think we put more than half there. No, we're going on to another color now. Okay, so it's a little different. Here, we're going to put a window right there now where it's a little darker. Okay, so now you're just going to put a little bit of 1.5 gray in there to take some of the yellow out. So okay, how's it going? You getting the color on there all right?
Difficult.
What's so hard?
Because it looks like I'm
so you should put your next darkest blue one in that area, not a lighter one. So these are in order of value from light to dark. So this, maybe you should put that one there if it's too light. Looks all right, that looks good. You're missing some of the black. You're supposed to be painting some of this other one around it, right?
Yeah.
And it's solid. And then there's another one in here that's a little bit lighter, which is probably that one. Anyway, you know what you're doing. Now, are you trying to take color off? Why?
Yeah, so I put it there.
Yeah, what's wrong with it? It's supposed to be a color there.
Yeah, so I cannot separate the 2 lines.
There's 2 lines.
Yeah,
yes, paint the 2 lines.
Difficult.
And if you can't, don't worry about it. You'll do it later. Just block it in. Block it in. This is like a rough draft stage of your color paint. This is a colored underpaint. All the real work is done on top of this. Do it as best you can. Well, if you add too much gray, yeah, you're hitting the balls in the other part. You're going to go back again. So you added too much gray at once. Okay? So you went too gray. When you add too much gray, which is blue, to something that's yellow, it makes it green. If you add the right amount of gray, it makes it less yellow. You added too much. So again, it's the same thing I'm telling everybody. It's just too big a movement. Yeah, you have to reverse with the color that you took out. You took the yellow out with the gray. You put too much in, so adding more yellow will make it more yellow, not green. Remember, the gray is blue. Blue and yellow make green. Okay, so now we're going to make some gray. Now we don't want to use that color on it. Quite a bit of gray. So this is number 3 gray, okay? So this is this gray right here. We're going to lighten it until it's there with white. Not with warm white. That would make that green because warm white has yellow in it. And our gray is blue. No feelings though. We're academics, we're not abstract expressions. No, you went too dark. Yeah, if you do this and look at it, yeah, check it. Now really hold it up in front of the square, over half the square, and ask yourself in your head which is darker. See? If you didn't ask yourself the question in your head, what? Nothing's going to happen. This is very conceptual way of painting. You can't let your body make it.
Oh. There.
Yeah, go ahead.
Same as the other?
Yeah. Oh no, this might even be darker. But you painted this today or before?
Before.
Yeah, go ahead, paint it all with the same color.
Okay.
That's what it looks like. You're gonna put cadmium orange hue in there. If we use that to lighten that, you wouldn't have any of that anymore. Orange hue. Okay, so value over color. First of all, you've got too much going on. Get both sides of the right off. All this is affecting it. It's pull back. Way too much. That will help darken it as well. Okay. So it could be like that. It could be one of your other colors, but just the darker skin color. Okay, so you're still green? Then you need to add more yellow. Oh, this is actually looking pretty good. You just went way too gray. Way too gray. So the best thing is to go way too yellow, and then we'll add a little bit of white and gray to make sure the yellow's in there. Yeah, we're not green anymore. This is white, right? Okay. We're just gonna add white to it now until it matches the value of that. Okay. Titanium white. So that is gray. Okay, well, you're looking to make not that or that, but a thing in between. So you're adding white to it until it's in between and not as light as that, but same as what you did here, right? Same as what you did here. It's lighter than that, but darker than that, and it should match the value of that. Looks pretty good to me. Okay, so now we can mix it. Now it's going to be quite gray, so you can mix what's already in the knife in there. Okay, so go ahead and mix that up, and you can see now that it's gray the color of it. What? No, I wasn't either. I went to 6 years of post-secondary art school. So. This is the Munsell color system if you're interested. It was invented around 1900, but they were using this centuries before to control color. But somebody invented something in the 20th century and called it that. And you can buy Munsell color charts. They're very expensive. It's easier to make them. You see, we've killed the color a bit. We're no longer on this column. We're probably over here. So right now we're between these two, so we want to move over here. So now you got to slow down a little bit at a time now until you get there. Okay? If you overshoot it, we'll put orange back in. Well, you're gonna have to use some. You're gonna have to use a lot more than you're using. Yeah, keep going with the orange. It's very weak. You can put a peppercorn red in there, Indian red, I think. Okay, that one's done. To the ground door. So read on the outside. You'll find out which cabinet is there. Okay, so grab 3 of those. Right, D1, and transfer. Or what was this one? Do you remember what it was? Okay, then transfer it over into. That's a lot closer. Okay, you need to get that off. How many have you made so far? No, you got D1 and D2. You have to. You have a piece of tape on the one you made already. Lighter than with the rest. Okay, yeah, now we have to put a little bit of the gray on. If I put too much in, it's a little light. Oh, it needs to go darker. remember this? You have to do that. Doesn't matter. A lot of my students wear glasses. It doesn't matter. You have to look through that tunnel. You have to get rid of peripheral color that's infecting your eye when you're checking color. Otherwise, more burnt umber. That's all it is. Okay. I want you to put a third of that amount of paint right there and add it.
Okay.
That's how dark you need to go. I'm not worried about how much paint we're using because I know that we use it, right? We use it for other things. I know other people look at me when we're making paint like we're insane, but I know it's easier just to have enough that we have something. Is it exactly the same or did you change it?
I think you just scooped it right up.
Did I? Okay,
yeah.
Then you can add it right back into it, yeah. Okay. And then sometimes if there's anything else left on there,
I could add it
this orange, you can scoop it all together and see, it'd probably end up being useful to you.
Really? Okay.
You can put in a new one and call it extra skin too. You can change that one and call it extra skin, and that means it's free for us to use.
Okay.
A little darker, yep. We'll jump to raw umber. We still got a bit of time. Grab raw umber and put the same amount of color we put in with raw umber. Okay, put the tape there, right on the back of the new S, put question marks on it.
Yeah.
And then we know we're fixing it.
Okay.
This one? Yeah. Oh, it's gonna go so much.